Hello and welcome to the Cricket Curious. I'm the Monk, and today we are in Age of Wonders 4, and today we have got yet another faction build for you. This faction build is a little bit special because it is related to a secret achievement within the game, Master of Evilness. Now, in order to acquire this achievement, you need to lead a faction of goblins to victory as a Chaos Lord. This is obviously a direct Easter egg to Lord of the Rings and Sauron. And so it's our job to make sure that we create a powerful race. Now, first of all, we are going to choose a bulk work. Now, this is a really good perk because it gives us that +2 in defense and +2 in resistances. Which is really, really awesome. And then we are going to choose Ferociousness, which gives us a +40% extra damage via retaliation attacks and attacks of opportunity. Next up, we have got Culture, and really there's no other one we can pick other than Dark. Dark just works so well, gives us what we want. What I like probably the most is the city stability that we get with this. Cities can negate city stability income penalties. So as you know, if you become unstable, unrest, or rioting, you get minus, certain buffs. Well, Dark has the ability just to void all of that. We also get extra structures with knowledge, and our crypts and prisons actually get more knowledge from having those extra prisoners, which is really awesome. And with this, we also get Cull the Weak. Now, Cull the Weak is a very good ability that we get via the hero leveling system. It deals an extra 20% damage to units with weakened. So like I said, this is very, very good. We also get an alignment debuff, or buff, depending on which way you look at it. We are 10% evil. Now, when it comes to traits, we already know that we need to go down the chaotic route. So picking something that gives us a point or two within chaotic is a good idea. Then there's a few decent options here, and one thing I would say, have fun with your build, guys. This video is more of a guide. I'm hopefully helping you to understand why I would pick the options I picked, more than tell you that this is the way you have to do things. There's no right way with Age of Wonders. You can experiment and do a lot of fun builds, but personally I think that you can go a few different ways here. I think out of the 4, the most powerful one, apart from Chosen Destroyers, I don't know if you guys have that unlocked. If you don't worry, that is unlocked through the Pantheon. Very, very powerful. But we're going to go for Prolific Swarmers. I think it goes better with a roleplay element of you playing a Sauron-esque character. And the buff you get to non-magical units requiring 20% less upkeep, and the fact that your city's population builds faster because you need 10% less food. I think this is a really good option. You also do start with that extra tier 1 unit. Next up, we are looking for our second society trait. And I think it's really good to pair Chaos with Shadow. Now, Shadow allows us to get more knowledge quicker. So I think it's a really good pair. I think Scourge of Evil is a good option because your cities gain an extra 10 draft. You also gain an extra 5 Imperium. Now that's per evil alignment. So if you end up becoming pure evil, well, that's 15 extra Imperium and 30 extra draft, meaning with Prolific Swarmers, we're able to spam out a lot of troops, meaning we're able to go to war with multiple factions at once, because of course if we're just focusing on tier 1 troops, then that's not going to be enough to take on those bigger battles, but it does mean we're able to spam out a ton of troops going fighting on multiple sides at once. We also get a -10 in evil alignment as well, so that adds, so now we're up to -20. Then your units are recruited with a tier 1 rank if you reach the maximum alignment. So if you constantly go down to pure evil, your tier 1 troops do come out extra buffed. Also, our shock units and our shield units have that extra rank as well. So I think Scones of Evil work really good just to buff up what we're already trying to achieve. Next up, of course, we have the tomes, and there's some pretty good tomes to choose from. Not all of them are obvious choices. However, remembering we're going down the chaos route, remembering I'm kind of feeling like this goblin, wave just washing across the land. Tome of the Horde works absolutely perfectly, and I'm here to tell you why it works so well. Spawn King, immediately off the bat, is a minor race transformation. It shrinks our units down a little bit, makes them more numerous when they are in a pack. They also deal an extra 20% damage, which is fantastic. Off the bat, our troops are 20% stronger than the average tier 1, tier 2 unit around the map. For me, this is brilliant. Pair that with a Houndmaster being a ranged unit that instantly summons a Warhound on the battlefield. So in other words, if you train and build a Houndmaster, when it goes to actually battle, they have already immediately spawned a Hound, a Warhound, which is an extra, I think it's a shock troop, but basically you have 2 troops for 1. They don't have a huge amount of health, but they will hit bloody hard and work well. After that, another one really good to get, or depending on what we get straight away, is summon regulars. So this will summon a non-scout tier 1 troop to the battlefield already. If you remember, tier 1 troops for us cost less. This just works so well. It means that we don't have to actually waste our money on troops. We can just summon them if we need to. On top of that, we also get a mob count, which is a unique improvement that we can build. Here we get a +7 food, more population. We get a +7 draft, awesome. And it also counts as a forester, plus tier 1 units end up costing 20% less. Next up, we have the choice between a champion or a wizard king. Now, you don't have to do either or for this achievement, but I'm going to go for a wizard king because I reckon if we're making a Sauron-esque type of dude, he was a wizard, right? So it works out well. Plus, we get the extra 10% buff in mana. The more mana we have, the more troops we're going to be able to summon as well. And of course, up next, we have got the old character customization. This can be a little bit fiddly sometimes, and it can be a little bit hard to actually achieve the character that we want to achieve. I feel like we're going to have to go elfen race because I believe Sauron was an elf. If I am wrong, please correct me down in the comments.
A few moments later.
But there you have it. We have made our Sauron the Pretender, the leader of the Goblin Horde. Now, this will get you that secret achievement, guys. So have fun with that. If you do end up making this build, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you like, what you changed, that kind of thing. And again, if you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel too. Like I said, the secret achievement is called Master of Evilness, which is why I have made this build. Now all that is left for us to do is just to point out a few extra little things. Now, first of all, I want to demonstrate the Houndmaster and just why I think it is so good. Now, we're only a few turns in. We've researched the correct tome, and of course we have recruited our very own Houndmaster. We've gone into a battle right now just so you can actually see the troops, because if you never actually play the fight, you're never actually going to see the troop itself. Now, if we have a little look, this is our Warhound. Our Warhound is automatically summoned into the battle as soon as you choose to actually manually fight the battle. If you never actually manually fight a battle, you will never see this Warhound. I think a lot of people think you have to manually waste a turn to actually get this troop in with the Houndmasters, but that's not true. It is automatically summoned in for you, and your Houndmaster is actually a ranged unit, so it works really well. You have your melee unit and your ranged unit, and you can use those two units to flank the enemy very, very well. I mean, theoretically, even a single army made up of just these units can absolutely devastate, because of course you're not going in with just those 6 units or just those extra 5 units. You'd be going in with 10 different units and truly be able to overwhelm your enemies, which is kind of the point of this faction build in the first place. Now, we are only 9 moves in, and one of the other things that I kind of pointed out was the race transformation Spawn King. Again, we are 9 turns in and we're able to take advantage of this. So not only have we now got the Houndmasters, but we have also got Spawn King, and boost the strength of our troops up by a further 20%. We've managed to do the 2 things that I pointed out in turn 9, which for me, absolutely amazing. This is a strong race. Up next, I want to take a moment to talk about the affinities. Now, we've gone down 2 affinity lines, that being Chaos and Shadow. First of all, you have got Call of Chaos. This is great because defeating infestations will give you an extra troop. Then you have Impressment. Your tier 1 troops cost 30% less. So again, we're just making sure that we can spam them out. It doesn't cost us anything. Get as many as possible. Then you've got a battlefield looting. The more things you kill, the more money you will be getting. Then you've got Law of the Horde. When you win a battle, you have a 50% chance of gaining a tier 1, tier 2 troop. And of course, you have got Rite of War. This will spawn 6 units to your main city, or to your throne city. In a pinch, it can be very, very useful. I also quite like Skilled Raiders. Skilled Raiders allows you to pillage provinces, and it's a little bit quicker. For me, this is really good because it does take quite a bit of time usually to do so. Rite of the Chosen Warriors basically gives you that extra massive amounts of draft, able to pump out super troops. It is only a one-time thing, but it's absolutely worth going for. Rite of the Possession allows you to summon a very own Balor, which is hard to get, but is something that I would recommend you going down, especially if you're going to be Lord of Chaos. Another thing I would say with this build, having more cities, more than the basic 3, is a good idea. You do have the option to expand your governance. It does cost Imperium, it does get more expensive, but this is something you can use more than once. Next up, we have the Shadow Affinity, and Knowledge Extraction is really good because the more heroes you kill, the more knowledge you get. The higher level they are, the more knowledge you'll get as well. Death Magic is another good one because it boosts your actual casting ability on the world map. Then you've got Stolen Power, which is fantastic because you gain 200 knowledge, 200 mana for conquesting a city. This can be really, really useful. Rite of Forbidden Knowledge, again, instantly gains you 500 knowledge. Knowledge allows you to go through those tomes a lot quicker. The more knowledge you have, the more science effectively you have. And in my opinion, Exalted by Shadows is the only way to level up your heroes to level 20 to get a max leveled hero, because it's quite hard to level your troops. It's quite hard to get enough experience to level your troops. If you manage to get Exalted by the Shadows, you get heroes gain 100% more XP. Again, Rights of the Exalted, another good one, because it instantly gives every single hero you have a level. And what I would say to that is that you can have multiple heroes. Don't be afraid of having more heroes than potentially you should have. Now, Dark Vigor is another good one, because your troops will regenerate health on enemy territory. So if you want to be a war nation, like very much we do, then this perk is going to enable you to actually heal while in combat, while actually raiding another city. But that is about everything I have for you within this faction build. Hopefully you have enjoyed it, learned something, found it entertaining. If you choose to actually use this faction, let me know down in the comments. If you choose to change something, or perhaps you would do something a little bit different, let me know. I'd be very interested to get your take on this build. But until next time, I've been a Mark, you've been a Curious, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.